when you compare sort of the champions that were picked, Rakan versus the Enchanters. As we do head now into the champion select, it is J-Team on the red side banning out this Azir.
Yeah, okay, so my bad. I thought J-Team were on the blue side, but on the red side actually. So Driver, he can look for some sort of counter pick, which would be nice.
I almost feel like that's what you have to do.
Yeah, I think it would be good. LeBlanc banned by DCG. We've seen them do that many times. Seem to not want Mission to play it. Ban the Emilio as well. Tristana, another mid lane respect ban comes out of J-Team. And what do we look for next? I mean, Maokai and Sedge still available. Jace as well. Feels like both teams would have a lot of priority on the Jace.
Jax banned. Okay, so now do you just ban the Renekton?
Yeah, I wonder. If you ban the Renekton, do you potentially give over a Jace for free? I mean, I guess you can trade Kai'Sa for it. Okay, they banned the Kai'Sa. So
Okay, so now
Jace
you
is
can-
up, Maokai's up, as well as Renekton.
I almost feel like that kind of favors J-Team. You might give over the Renekton. I feel like it could just be a given, but then on the other side, you are able to pick up sort of that Jace and Sejuani or Maokai, whichever you'd prefer.
Yeah, I think you take the Jace, and then you just pick Sedge with it. I like it. Okay, so now, or do J-Team just take away Renekton Sedge? Because you don't want to give Sedge Jace.
No.
Yeah, I feel like taking Renekton Sedge is probably the best.
Yeah, and I feel like you're winning at that stage. I think there are answers
should be,
to the Jace.
especially with the Jax gone.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh, okay.
I like that better.
Yeah, me too. I think you just pair the Sejuani and the Renekton. Although, admittedly, Driver does play a lot of these melee carries up in top lane, which Sejuani does pair well with as well. So might just let the Renekton slip through and find something better for himself. Although I'm not sure exactly what would be better.
Yeah, I mean, they could pick a mid laner if they really didn't want to pick top. Ooh, maybe Ashe. Okay.
Okay.
Freljord synergy, I suppose.
Does take that away from Chris Carter, who has oftentimes liked to play the Ashe. Did play it in one of their wins previously already in the summer split. Now, coming over to these next two picks for DCG, I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see an Orianna come in pretty early here. I feel like Mission pretty comfortable to blind pick it.
I think it'll probably just be on the Jace, though.
Oh, actually, yeah, sorry. Sorry, mind
Yeah,
blank.
so they go for Maokai, looks like. Lock in the Maokai. And maybe you just take your ADC here. Because you don't really need to blind top. Okay, well, they're going to take it.
That makes sense.
I guess they can't give over Sedge or Renekton. They're going to take it, but that gives Driver the opportunity to counterpick on 3 without any more top bans coming through.
Ooh.
Or are they going to go for something different? We'll see.
Rel's looked really good today so far. Perhaps maybe not in the Hell Picks game, but that aside.
Yeah. All right, they pick it up, and this gives J-Team an interesting choice. You could go top into 2 bans, Renekton into 2 bans. Alternatively, pick up a support of your own, or maybe pick a mid laner. I mean, it's not super clear which one to go for. I have to see what they think is best.
Yeah, I wonder. I was going to say maybe they'd look towards the Heimerdinger. They've already played it. Heimerdinger Ashe, an extremely annoying bot lane to try and go up against. But it's going to be Braum.
The Braum is interesting.
Like
I think
Freljord.
Yeah, a lot of Freljord champs. Sedge Braum works very well together. And I do think the Braum is good against Rel. Now, the only thing I'm worried about is maybe it's not that threatening onto Jace. It kind of feels like when you do get these poke champs and they are unthreatened, they will just poke your team down. Obviously, they have the Ashe and the Sedge ults, but Braum doesn't really add a whole lot to that. Interesting choice, though. We'll see how it goes. The Gnar ban. So that kind of... I think it's more just a Hanami-specific ban.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played the champ a lot. They ban away the Yone.
Wow. Okay.
I wonder what that's for. It was played once, top lane last split, I think, but I can't remember what the matchup was. I feel like it might have been Yone into Gnar, even.
That would... Ooh, was it? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I know it got played mid once
Yeah, I
last
remember
season.
that game.
It was horrific. Almost nightmare-worthy. Now, I mean, this is a very interesting... We've had really interesting drafts today, and this is following suit on that trend. Varus now banned away.
I like the Varus ban.
Me too. It takes away another AP option in that bottom lane.
I think also, when you've got that Braum, it's much harder to threaten poke champs,
True.
of which Varus is one of them. And now second ban, I mean, maybe something like the Gwen could open up some more blind picks in top lane. Or maybe they need to ban away the Renekton.
Yeah.
Ooh, they banned the Gangplank.
Wow, I don't know what these top bans are leading towards. I guess the Gnar probably has a good time into the Gangplank, and so their response was to ban the Gangplank.
Ooh. A
Flex?
Gragas Flex could be really useful. I really like it.
Yeah.
I think that means that worst case, Driver can just take that and be completely fine, but it also means it's one of the better top lane blinds taken away, and it's not super easy for Hanami to blind now. I wonder what he's going to go for. I'm expecting, maybe he does still go for the Renekton, but I mean, you don't want to pick it in a Gragas. Alternatively, what else could he even go for? I'm not too sure. Ziggs. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Ziggs, I have to say, but I think this is a pretty good game for it. Ziggs with Jace, I think, is good. Ziggs up against Braum, I think, is good. And they do go for the Renekton, and will that just be Gragas going top? Or does Driver have a better counter pick?
Right. A lot of magic damage.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Ahri. I think Minji should play something with a bit more damage to it.
Oh!
I like that.
Okay. Wow. Wow, it is such an exciting day here at the PCS.
Yeah.
We have had so many different looks at how to do a draft phase. Now, we are going to have a Zeri mid here against the Jace. Likely to be an AP Zeri with that Lich Bane. And then, sorry, not Lich Bane, the Static Shiv. But you start to sort of throw out those Ws and they start hitting like Lux ults eventually, so... Wow, what are you thinking? What are you thinking in this draft? I think this is such a hard draft to read.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I am a little worried about how much magic damage J-Team have. Maybe, depending on what Minji builds, that can be alleviated. We'll see, because it does feel like if you're picking Zeri, it's to play AP Zeri. But,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't expect them just to have a full AP comp. I mean, they have an Ashe, but it's not exactly the highest damage champ. I mean, it can be.
Yeah, if you do go not the Triforce build and more into sustained DPS, it can offer quite a lot.
It's hard to pull off, though. As
an AD Zeri, you actually have a fairly good time this game because the only real threat onto you is a Maokai. And even then, there's not a whole lot of follow-up that come through. Renekton would have to be in a pretty good position to be able to do that, especially when you're going through a Braum as well as a Sejuani. So I think you actually do have the option to go whichever way with it. Of course, you do have Sejuani Gragas for AP damage, so you're not lacking.
Yep.
Interesting draft. I mean, who are you favoring?
I'm not even sure. I feel like... I honestly want to see Minji's build before I decide, but I don't know. I guess purely based off champ select, I think it might be slightly better for DCG just because I feel like their comp's a bit more cohesive and I like the Jace Siggs combo. And I'm a little worried about the Braum in this game, but I'm just so excited to see these. I mean, these are two very different comps, not just from each other, but also just from what we normally see in the PCS.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we do load in here, of course, we are now on to Summoner's Rift for our final game of the day. An important one. Stakes are quite high. Only one team will remain in that top position, tied with 4 other teams. but only one of them will get that. And as the first round robin starts to get towards the end, it is very important maintaining a high sort of win rate there. It's good not only for being able to make it to playoffs, which we're pretty sure we know who will, but the standings in playoffs and who you're going to be facing up against.
Definitely. Now, level 1, will there be anything interesting coming out? Sometimes you see the Braum invade on the bot side. Obviously, it was very strong at level 1. Doesn't look like it'll be the case. And I would expect both junglers to want to play around bot. Feel like Ziggs getting ahead is important, obviously. And stopping Ziggs from getting ahead is important too.
Now, I think importantly, traditionally, Ashe is probably one of the best AD carries at laning against the Ziggs.
Yeah.
It's really easy for you to go if you need it, which I don't think you really want to this game, but you can get a Wit's End if things are looking a bit bleak. It pairs well with what Ashe likes to do. But also just the range that Ashe has keeps her fairly safe, and it makes it easy. You don't have to stand in the minion wave to farm, and so Ziggs can't land those Qs as easily on you.
Yeah, there are actually several other reasons as well why Ashe used to be picked into Ziggs. Just hold that thought. We got a little bit of a level 1 trade coming out, lots of damage on end. So another big reason is that Ziggs is basically forced into taking TP, which means you're always going to have no cleanse versus the Ashe ult. And basically every other ADC would always take cleanse. And one other reason that maybe isn't the case anymore is Ashe ADC used to always rush Bork, and the lifesteal was very useful laning against the poke champ. Maybe now, can't go for the Bork, but I think there are still enough good reasons to pick the Ashe into the Ziggs.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you remember back to yesterday, we actually saw this exact matchup between Gragas and the Renekton, and Gragas ended up being something like 40 CS down in an isolated 1v1. So I think I want to look to see how Driver plays it against Hanabi, two very strong top laners. And you do expect probably Renekton to get a little bit of a CS advantage, but I think it really want to see Driver not falling so far behind. And, you know, this guy, an incredibly skilled player, you don't expect him to in any case.
And knowing Driver, he'll come out 40 CS ahead somehow.
No, well, his last Gragas performance was pretty incredible.
Well, Hana actually ended up pathing up the map, which is a little surprising. I mean, maybe just feels like he can't get prio on bot side and wants to get that top scuttle. But I feel like there's not much to be achieved top side. We'll see. Probably going to be a very slow early game here, I would expect. At least until probably around the Herald. Before that, though, it's quite difficult to make plays in the lane. And Zeri versus Jace, not a mid matchup I've ever seen before. But it feels like Zeri's actually the one getting the prio.
Yeah, I think it's just not having to use mana to push a wave helps quite a lot. Now, Fleet Footwork is the pickup on Minji, when traditionally I know the AD Zaya's, Zeris do like the lethal tempo. Still doesn't mean it's not lethal tempo, it's just that Fleet Footwork pairs well with Static Shiv, and you can go Static Shiv into AD builds, like Tristana tends to do.
Yeah, I wonder what it will be. I feel like Static into AD probably is the best for their comp.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
We'll see. Lava maybe making a pass at mid here. Mission, he's pretty low.
Yeah, it could be a 2v2, but should favor J-Team based entirely off health bars. As he's actually looking for Hana. Sejuani definitely should be the victor in terms of this 1v1. Is going to land that Arctic Assault, but nothing more comes of it.
Minji maybe being looked at again. Looks like the plant narrowly missed Hana there, but obviously they're very aware of him. I'm not sure what's happening here. A little bit of a standoff.
Okay. Down bottom, Bruce is getting somewhat low, has two bickies in the back pocket, but he's just keeping the Ziggs at bay. And now with Ziggs being pretty much out of mana, is fairly free to just stay and do whatever he'd like.
Yeah, Kriskana, you'd have to think, would be close to the lost chapter by this point.
Yeah.
They're just base and TP for it. Recalls will come out of the J-Team bot lane. Kind of have to. Normally when you're playing against TP, need to recall before they do. Otherwise you come back. TP comes in and your wave is frozen. The Ashe is actually going for the lifesteal.
Yeah.
So I wonder if she's just going to sit on that. Do you think there's any chance she still builds Bork?
I think she could.
It's a good game.
What makes me think she might go Bork is that I do think that Minji might go for an AP build.
Yeah.
And the Bork on Ashe adds a lot of physical damage early game, especially when you are going to mainly be hitting onto this Renekton as well as the Maokai. It does add a lot more physical damage that you wouldn't otherwise have in just sort of these items without the passive effects.
Would be pretty interesting. Obviously, having the lifesteal early is very good up against Maokai Jace Ziggs. Even just in that isolated lane is good. So I think very smart pick. And that's kind of something you see when you do kind of have... It's just like a little itemization difference, right? Ends up having a really large impact on the game. So I can imagine if you played a regular Ashe build in this game, could have a lot of trouble. And remember, this Ashe was actually picked early. So normally Ashe is picked as a response to Ziggs, but taken so early. And we haven't seen a whole lot of Ashe this split.
Ooh, Orca. Dangerously close to being pounced on here by the Sejuani, but doesn't face check the bush. And up top, looks like Driver is maintaining even CS's. Mission Shock Blast will go wide here, but Lava still not spotted. It's actually going to be Minji jumped on first. So fights around the map, but it's Minji. He does have that ult, is looking for the trade. Mission not able to land the shock blade there. Is going to be going down. It's going to be Enso picking up that first blood. Permafrost not able to be used on Hana there, but first blood over to J-Team. Magnificent start.
That's pretty big. It does go over to Enso, so not the best recipient. But I think killing Mission and burning his flash, very important. I think we should take a look at a replay of that fight because I feel like Minji probably should have died. And I think Minji and I think Mission should have got out. So we'll see. And Driver, he went for the grass, but he is going Rod of Ages, it looks like.
What if it's a really early Abyssal Mask?
I did think of that.
I don't think it should be.
I mean, it could be, because he's got another Ruby.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it just
Maybe
is.
you could go Catalyst,
Well,
Catalyst Sunfire, and build the
thinking
Abyssal
about
later.
it, if you are going to have the Sejuani and Zeri both AP2, the Abyssal Mask does make a little bit more sense, even though you are laning against the AD threat in Renekton.
I mean, I could see him just sitting on the Catalyst and now
Yeah.
building Sunfire and then upgrade Abyssal second. I think that could be a really good build. We'll see. Driver, I like, he does little smart itemization things too, and
Yeah.
I'm very happy with J-Team's itemization so far.
Yeah, so it will be the Shiv first on Zeri. Still, we don't really know what the build's going to be, but I do tend to think, based pretty much entirely off fleet footwork, it's likely to be AP.
Probably. But I think with the way the early game is going, this is really nice for J-Team.
Yep.
No Herald, obviously, has been picked up just yet. Only spawned 20 seconds ago, but no plates even falling bot lane for that Ziggs is very good. And I think J-Team, if they can stop this, it would be good, but it feels like they might not be able to. Instead, could just trade on bot side and make it difficult for Cascada to walk up to the wave. Obviously, it can be altered, but if you can make that Ziggs all be used defensively, slows things down a lot. Dragon will be started up, and this again, it means that DCG won't have that Dragon win condition.
Yeah.
I think this is looking better and better for J-Team.
I think J-Team really hard outscale as well.
Yeah, I think so too. It's very difficult for Ziggs to play from an even point of view. Ziggs does scale well,
Yeah.
but when he is up against lifesteal and up against like tanks and stuff like that, it can actually be quite hard to be useful. All things considered though, it is still very even, but I think it's kind of like, it depends a lot what gets done with this Herald. If this Herald is drop bot and they get a successful dive, then suddenly DCG could pull very far ahead. But where they're at right now, definitely happy.
Yeah, nice little sneak away of the red buff there too from Lauba. Doesn't look like it will be answered on the other side of the map, so bit by bit, little bits of advantage here. Bramble Vest now picked up from Lauba as well as a Giant's Belt. I'm interested to see, the static shift now completed of course, but I'm interested to see what Driver does do with this build. I think either option of keeping it here as a catalyst and going towards a Sunfire Cape or upgrading it into an Abyssal Mask, neither is too bad. But I think if you do go Abyssal Mask, you're probably going to be aiming to be with the team a bit more than in the side lane.
Probably. I wonder, he might feel comfortable just rushing a straight Abyssal since Renekton had to go for that first item Mercs up against the Gragas Sejuani.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less pressure coming out. Ooh, did just manage to get it there.
Valve are doing a really good job of taking away camps from this Maokai.
I'm very impressed by J-Team keeping this game so stable because it feels like, you know, especially with the Maokai going around the map early, the Ziggs, you know, with potential to speed this game up a lot, and the Rel even to have some impact. The fact that everything's been just so even, in spite of all that, really bodes well for them, I think, going on this game. Could definitely see a repeat kind of the CFO comp where, you know, it looks close, but in reality it isn't because they're just outscaling so hard.
They are actually at a slight deficit, but that is entirely because Lauva has literally every single one of his jungle camps available. Ooh, Driver, nice stop there.
Ooh, needs to be careful though.
Yeah, okay, he's a bit overextended now. Gonna have to flash. Explosive cast will be available. Hits the Renekton away as well as Hana into the tower.
Ooh,
if that
so
body
close.
slam hits.
Yeah. Imagine if he had flash there. Obviously was forced to use it.
Yeah.
But if he'd had it, I think he probably would have turned that around.
Rift Herald top for the Renekton.
Oh.
Driver's gonna be in a lot of problem here, but Minji teleporting in. This actually could be turned around. Ashult does go wide, so ultimately there's just gonna be some plates over. I think very necessary teleport there from Minji. Stops any potential dive. And you don't really want to be using this Herald away from the Ziggs.
That was questionable. I feel like the reason they used Herald there was almost just to have it tank the tower to keep those creeps alive, but it felt very forced. And I think Minji investing his TP to essentially just negate Herald completely is so worth it at this point.
Yeah.
I think things looking better and better for J-Team. Obviously, a lot will come down to that first fight. Any comp with Ziggs has the potential to snowball crazy out of control at any moment.
Rod of Ages.
Okay. So he is going to go for the Rod. That kind of makes sense for Driver. And I guess he is just going to sit on this Ruby and build it into something else.
Oh, okay. Lalva does recall. Like this. I mean, I don't think you can actually dive.
No, he looks pretty unkillable. Yeah, so he does go. So he just bought, I think, the Ruby for even more tankiness early game.
Yeah, and 4 people coming up to this top wave. Driver, though.
It's just undivable.
Yeah. Hanabi. Hanabi going to be taking a lot of damage, actually. Minji doing so much.
Yeah, Sork Shoes and now a Dark Seal as well on Minji.
If that Winter's Bite hit, there's a chance Hanabi does just get chased down.
Okay. Well, second Dragon is coming up sort of soon. And I think if DCG can't get this one, they will never have a Dragon win condition in this game. And I think given their comp, they probably need one. It would make closing this game out a lot easier. Alternatively, if J-Team have it, feels like they will have all the cards.
Hanabi
could be in trouble
does
here.
have Flash.
No TP from Mission, but there is TP from Cascada.
Okay, I think Hanabi should just be going down. Glacial Prison does miss. It is going to be followed up, though. Flash away, and the teleport does come through. But importantly, no teleport now available for Cascada as this Dragon spawns in just 15 seconds. Driver, he's not keen to let Mission recall.
Yeah, if he can stop it one more time, there's no way Mission will get to drag. He does not have TP. TP comes mid out of Hanabi, so they definitely want to fight it. Okay, DCG, they have the control.
Yeah, there is also so much engage from J-Team. There's the Ashol you can go through with Sejuani. Driver is also an option, but right now it looks like they are content with just giving over Dragon, and it does make sense. Their team will really get stronger as the game continues, and for now it looks like it won't be the Bork first on Bruce's Ashe. I don't know what exactly he will go first, possibly just the Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, I think it will just be Vamp into Kraken. But Minji, he's going more AP now.
Ooh.
Which could be a little worrying, to be honest.
Mission does not want to take that fight.
Oh, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, does have Flash, but there's so much CC. The Ash Arrow will not hit, but Mission, how's he going to use this Flash? It looks like he might not even get to. Oh, it is Orca coming in with the save. So many ults coming down. The explosive rocket, but Driver's not tanking the tower. And so many low health bars. Mission getting away. Global ults galore, but nobody going down.
Nobody going down. At the end of all that, I feel like that was a pretty big mis-execution from the side of J-Team. I think Ashe being in River can just react with the ultimate rather than throwing it out so early. And I think maybe if the CC had been chained a bit better, Mission could have gone down. Nice play from Orca though, defends it. And getting a second Herald, that would allow the mid tower to be broken and maybe start to get Zig snowballing. I am a little worried again about the triple AP topside from J-Team. Because I feel like Bruce, I mean, he can put up the numbers, but
Lalva.
It's a lot all on him. Can he steal this? Oh, TP comes in.
Okay, I don't know exactly who got that just yet, but Hana now definitely the center of a focus as Orca also coming in. But Minji comes in. That's one. Hana now getting chased down. These slows on the Ashe are so painful as Bruce will flash forward and pick himself up one. I don't know who got the Herald, but
I think Hana got it.
J-Team ultimately coming up better.
Yeah, so it looks like DCG did get it. Hana picked it up, but it's not worth it, 100%. As now J-Team starts to pull ahead. We'll see, a lot committed to this, and Mission's bot, I think his TP was up, but he definitely doesn't want to... Okay, so he did TP in, but it's already too late. You can see the fight's already decided by the time he gets here, and Hana, he tries to make it out, but just so much CC comes through. Braum putting in a lot of work in this fight, and Lava even got out there.
Yeah, 1 HP, manages to get out. Importantly, kill over to Bruce. I think that is pretty much the only person here you really want the kills to go on. It's not very easy to itemize any armor against the top side here of J-Team. Driver, maybe biting off a bit more than he can chew.
And I think that is the thing that you mentioned. It is very hard for the side of DCG to build armor. They can get a lot of MR, and that will really neutralize the J team top side. But if somehow Bruce ends up getting a lot of kills, it really won't matter. There's a lot of magic resist already. But to be fair, there is a fair amount of mixed damage. And I think Bruce is strong enough to carry some of these fights. The further ahead they can get as well, the harder it becomes for DCG to continue to itemize defensively like this. They just won't have the gold for it. I wonder, will this Herald just get used mid or maybe goes top again? I mean, they could put the gold onto the Jace, but I feel like opening up the mid tower would do a lot.
Yeah, okay, it is just going to be... It's going to get the top tower, but...
Yeah.
I think it's really weird. You've managed to get both Rift Heralds with Ziggs on your team, and neither of them have gone to the Ziggs.
It does feel like a real misunderstanding. I think a lot of people think Ziggs scales really well. And, I mean, he does damage-wise, but the problem is the damage just starts becoming irrelevant. You know, like if Ashe does go more or wits and has lifesteal, it won't really matter.
And it is a fairly easy game to get one of those, because as the game progresses, Jace will do a lot of damage, but you should be fairly safe from the Jace. And then you're only really worried about damage coming through from the likes of the Saplings and the Ziggs.
If the Ziggs loses here too, it feels like it would be in similar fashion to, I believe it was CFO that lost with it.
Yeah.
And kind of same thing, where it felt like the Ziggs didn't really find anything in the early game, and it almost feels like the ADCs playing it might just be better off playing traditional ADCs, because they're just so much better at them.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it was also the Ziggs picked against J-Team yesterday, so...
Oh, true.
They're getting a bit of experience to get it now. Ooh, okay, so Minji is going for the LeBlanc build here on the Zeri. Night Harvester looks to be the next pickup.
Okay.
And one thing you do have to watch out is while you do start doing a lot of damage with your W, if you're able to find a nice ult,
yeah,
it will
does a lot
chunk
of damage.
so many people. There's a really, really big AP ratio on that ability.
And is Bruce building towards the Wits now?
End,
Yeah, I think it has to be, right? I guess, does Bork build out of the axe thing? I don't think so, right?
It's recurve bow.
Yeah. Well, Mission's got 2 items, and the second drag is up and available. Looks like both teams will be contesting. Ooh, nice poke.
Yeah, definitely.
Comes out of
Very
Mission.
important. Is Bruce going to be able to sustain enough off this wave? At least
He
it's
gets
not
a
too
little
bad.
bit.
Oh, okay. Minji not doing too much damage to Hanabi yet, but not to be too surprised as the ult will come out here, and it's going to be Orca finding a 4-man with that Magnet Storm, but ultimately the turn here from J-Team, there's so much lockdown, they find 2, one of those onto Bruce, and Dragon not long after.
Yeah, just another team fight win, goes the way of DCG, or the way of J-Team, excuse me, and they will grab the Dragon afterwards. And I think this is a big limitation of having the Ziggs, because when you play that double poke with the likes of Kai'Sa, you still retain a lot of teamfight DPS. But when you play it with the Ziggs, you really have to land poke before the fight starts for it to be successful. And they did land some on the Bruce, but not enough. The rest of the J-Team full health. And in a straight up 5v5 like this, there's no way DCG's comp can win. Not unless they're very ahead. And I don't get why teams make it so difficult for themselves. Like, I really don't think the Ziggs is worth it.
I think especially where they took that fight, though. They took it down on that little ramp towards River where Braum just puts down his ult and your back line can no longer access the fight. So yeah, more kills here and gold given to the side of J-Team. And at the moment, if not for one tower, are playing a perfect game. Oh, and a dragon, actually. I'm a liar.
It's basically perfect, though. I feel like I'm willing, whenever I'm talking about perfect games, I'm willing to give over 1 tower. I guess maybe not the drag, but the 1 tower, because it feels like a tower always gets traded. You know, it's like correct to give up the tower, but either way.
Oh.
Nice little stop there. Getting towards Lux ult territory, probably another item coming in. Do you think it will be the Lich Bane?
I think he might just want the Void Staff.
Yeah, I think
you need a Void Staff now.
It's almost good to buy preemptively as well before more comes through.
Well, I think even at this stage, it's not even preemptive just because how heavy they are on magic damage. There's just so much MR coming through already. I think you are forced to just go for the Void already. One thing the Ziggs does do is get you to that next level, and constantly clearing these waves. It's also pretty hard to do a Baron against the Ziggs.
Yeah.
If you're not able to find a fight, take him out. He can just sit there throwing bombs at you.
I am a little surprised that Cascada went for the Shadow Flame. Because it feels like there's going to be a lot of MR coming through from the Sedge, Gragas, Braum. And when you're up against that, you almost always want to go Void second, Rabadon's third, or the other way around. Because otherwise, you're stuck in a tough spot here where either you go Void or Rabadon's third, and, delaying the other one to fourth, you might not even get it in this game.
Interesting. Driver has gone for, obviously, the Rod of Ages, followed by the Sunfire Cape, which not the traditional build.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different.
Yeah, does have the grass, so you expected him to go tanky. I guess his tank item in the health in the Rod of Ages, but surprised it's not just the likes of the Sunfire first into Jack Show or whatever tank item you prefer.
Wood's End now completed for Bruce. So next fight, I feel like, should be so good for J-Team, especially before any Magic Pen comes through.
And how does anyone get to this Ashe? It feels
I'm not sure.
Pretty impossible.
I feel like this game is really up to DCG finding some miracle engage or maybe Mission landing a lot of poke before it starts. But not getting anything out of the Ziggs for so long feels like just such a misuse of the champ. Really liking J-Team's chances.
As am I. Now, I like to ask you this question. If you are, let's say, Mission in this game, how are you playing to better your chances? Just Mission specifically.
I think you got to probably land poke onto Minji because he's the carry that doesn't have lifesteal. That's probably the best. It's pretty difficult though. Maybe if you can follow up engage from Rel. It feels like it's not really up to you that much, which sucks because, well, Mission's probably the best player on the team. Wants the game to be in his hands. Minji, it looks like he's going towards a Shadow Flame, which I think is very bad. I hope he doesn't build that. Maybe he's building a Rabadons and is just sitting on the Amp Tome. Mission.
Oh, Mission going to be caught out here. That is going to be the Glacial Prison. Minji does pop his ult. Mission trying to get away, but with Driver coming in, should not be able to. That is a kill given to J-Team. 0-6 in their favor, as it looks like they will turn towards Baron.
Ooh, will they start it up?
It's so hard. I actually feel like you can't, but
they don't have enough engage left, I don't think.
They have Driver with the explosive cast, but that's basically it. They are going to save this middle tower.
Well, maybe they're going to try it. I think it's difficult, though. Yeah, they back off it. I think just not enough engage tools left and too much poke.
Oh, okay.
I think that was too early from Cascada there. I think should wait for the Gragas ult to be used before flashing. It was just a Q, and I guess he flashed it preemptively, but that will be the third dragon, now going the way of J-Team. And I really don't know how DCG get back into this. Cascada is going for the Rabadon's third, but with how much MR is already completed, he's not doing damage.
Driver now. Let's see how this 1v1 looks. I feel like it starts to favor Gragas a little bit. That guy just becomes so unkillable. It looks like it's going to be Force of Nature as well.
Yeah, he's going to be very strong. We've been talking a lot about builds this game, but Minji is building both Rabadons and Void at the same time.
Done.
Okay.
Wait, yeah. What is Minji doing?
He probably started building Rabadons and then realized, we need some Magic Pen.
Yeah.
I like the adaptation. Or maybe someone just flamed him and said Shadow Flame sucked, which was true.
Yeah, I feel like if you wanted the AP, just finish off that mid-eyes. You're looking pretty good at not dying here. Not a whole lot of threat on you.
4 minutes now until DTG are going to be forced to contest that dragon. I think they are forced to contest. Once that's given over, I think it's virtually impossible.
Zeri with Air Soul.
Yeah. But DCG can delay. It's not easy for J-Team just to start up the Baron.
It isn't too hard for J-Team to look for a dive, however. And at the moment, that looks to be the angle they're going for as we have Lava and Driver.
Even through the Ziggs wave clip, they managed to just take the tower.
Oh, Driver? He should be okay.
Well, he got pretty low there. That was scary. He was shaking, I'm sure.
How do you progress the game, though? I feel like it's really hard. They are... For that tower, they are able to push through the Ziggs wave clear, but that more or less just because of the dive threat. Now that you get to the inner towers, that dive threat does get slightly taken away.
No flash zigs. I think that's the way you can speed up the game.
True.
If you can somehow find them. But it is hard. I think it's kind of up to DCG to fumble. It really should just be J-Team. Wait for the drag. No flash zigs.
Found onto Ziggs. It's followed up. How did he see him? Was that from Ash
shot, maybe? Yeah, I'm not too sure. But however they found that, that's incredible. That's the speed up they need, and they should turn to Baron.
Yeah, only Jace Poke left, and you have a Braum alive. You should be okay to tank this up. And you also still have engaged with Driver coming from the backside. Will be spotted out on this ward. Corralling DCG into this river as Driver well positioned behind them. They're going forward. The Arcane Assault will land. Nature's Grass, though, for the disengage, but Driver, again, staying comfortably on this backside. Hana looking to slow him down slowly. Minji does have ult available, and as soon as that's popped, you feel like things are over. Magnet Storm used. Bruce finds one. Big ult there from Driver, and it's going to be Minji picking up himself one as Hanabi, in the middle of 4 people, will be taken down. This should be Baron with it, with only Hana and Cascada. You don't really have the damage, but they are seemingly looking.
Maybe Ziggs ult can steal it. I don't think there's any way to stop it, but if you could get a Miracle Steal, that could be it. They don't have any vision on it, though. They don't check the health. Oh!
Bomb comes. Nice smite there. Secures it. That's Baron now, and all of a sudden your Ziggs wave clear is not so important. And we can have a real speed up on this game. It looks like it's going to be the Triforce from Bruce here. Kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, it is a little weird. And yeah, okay, it was revealed by the Hawkshot, and Cascada didn't realize. He had the eyes, status effect on him, but he didn't notice. Thought he was safe recalling on the pink. Was very hard punished for it. We said there's no way J-Team can start this up. And they can't really progress the game as long as Ziggs is alive, but they somehow find him, and they know what to do. They know they can start this up. DCG, they play in the river, they try and contest, but they're already committed. And they want to try buy time for Cascada to TP in. Even if he does, I think it wouldn't make that much of a difference. But eventually, they kind of just run out of space to kite to, and J-Team just chase him down.
Yeah, wow.
Orca having to use ult defensively and just run away feels pretty bad. Credit to Bruce. He's putting in a lot of damage. I think he's playing pretty well.
Flashed.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe just one of the kills.
Right, 0 to 10. Bit of a clinic being put on here by J-Team of how to slow down a game and take it nice and slow. Arcane Crystal will go, arrow even, does go wide. Should be the inhib going down though, slowly but surely. There it is.
And now looking towards their bot tower and maybe the 4th dragon. And J-Team, I think they will just slaughter DCG in a fight. DCG, I mean, they kind of have to contest the drag, but realistically, I don't think they have a chance of winning the fight. Maybe if they can get these health bars a little bit lower.
Minji going for the flank on the Zeri. Honestly, we'll find a lot of damage. Explosive Cask, it's actually going to be Hanabi found before the fight even begins. Now Minji, is he going to look for something? This will be a didn't even hit the ult, I'm not sure, but he's going to found 2 kills anyway. Now Cascada running for his life as J-Team march down this middle lane. This should be it in theory. You're not getting... Wow.
That damage.
That was a one-shot.
And that's going to be the game along with it.
Wow. Well, okay. What an absolute performance by J-Team here. Did you notice at any stage of this game a mistake?
Ooh. Honestly, no, not really. I think J-Team played this game very clean. I think their itemization was very good. I like the draft overall. I do have to say, I think DCG, and honestly the PCS in general, I don't think they play around Ziggs whatsoever, and probably just shouldn't play it.
Yeah, the 2 Rift Heralds going top into the Renekton Gragas lane. Bit questionable, but ultimately it is Taipei J-Team who now...
Not sure what...
Look,
Gragas...
he used to do champion dances.
He just does whatever he wants.
Now, he did. Who did he punch out that time? He punched out someone.
This is Jungler,
Lalva. He was just punching out. Well, anyway, looks like he had a seizure now, but that guy did play very good. I mean, he's Gragas, not too much he could do, but I think story of the day is that